During the Golden Age, people with devotion to their Dharma kept to the path of righteousness. There were then no liars, none who were selfish, thievish, malicious, foolish, none who were evil-minded, envious, wrathful, gluttonous, or lustful, but all were good of heart and of ever blissful mind. Land then yielded in plenty all kinds of grain. Clouds showered seasonable rains, cows gave abundant milk, and trees were weighted with fruits. After the Golden Age had passed, men were no longer able by holy ritual to accomplish their desires, for men, through their anxiety and perplexity, were unable to perform these rituals, in which much trouble had to be overcome, and for which much preparation had to be made. In constant distress of mind, they were not able to perform rituals. Having observed this, thou did make known on earth the scripture in the form of Smriti, which explains the meaning of the Vedas, and thus delivered from sin, which was cause of all pain, sorrow, and sickness. Now the sinful Kali Yuga age is upon them, when Dharma is destroyed, an age full of evil customs and deceit. Men pursue evil ways, the Vedas have lost their power, the Smritis are forgotten, and many of the Puranas, which contain stories of the past and show the many ways which lead to liberation, will, O Lord, be destroyed. Men will become averse from religious rites, without restraint, maddened with pride, ever given over to sinful acts, lustful, gluttonous, cruel, heartless, harsh of speech, deceitful, short-lived, poverty-stricken, harassed by sickness and sorrow, ugly, feeble, low, stupid, mean, and addicted to mean habits, companions of the base, thievish, calumnious, malicious, quarrelsome, depraved, cowards, and ever ailing, devoid of all sense of shame and sin, and of fear to seduce the wives of others. They will be greedy, given over to wicked and sinful acts, liars, insolent, ignorant, deceitful, mere hangers-on of others, the sellers of their daughters, degraded, averse to all tapas and vrata. They will be heretics, impostors, and think themselves wise. They will be without faith or devotion, and will do japa and puja with no other end than to dupe the people. They will eat unclean food and follow evil customs, and will be wicked and ready to barter for money even their own wives to the low. Observing no rule in eating or drinking or in other matters, scoffing at the Dharma scriptures, no thought of pious speech ever so much as entering their minds, they will be but bent upon the injury of the good. By thee also have been composed for good and liberation the Tantras, which bestow both enjoyment and liberation, containing mantras and yantras and rules as to the sadhana of both Devis and Devas. By thee too have been described many forms of the various seated positions of yoga. It is thou who hast made known in 1,000 ways rites relating to the worship with woman. Fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity and simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion and freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty and steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, freedom from envy and the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities belong to godly ones endowed with divine nature. Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance, these qualities belong to those of demonic nature. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, you are born of the divine qualities. In this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear me of the demonic. Those who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation, and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Following such conclusions, the demonic, who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. The demonic, taking shelter in insatiable lust, pride, and false prestige, and being thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. They believe that to gratify the senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. The demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, one becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into hell. Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes perform sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demonic life, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane person should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. The one who has escaped these 3 gates of hell performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. But one who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to their own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that one may gradually be elevated.